Okay, everyone, I am here and pleased to introduce Leonard McPherson. He is an assistive technology specialist with the DC Assistive Technology Program. I'm going to let him talk about what the program is. But when I was living in Pennsylvania in my last job, I will tell you that when I learned about the Assistive Technology Program as someone with a profound hearing loss, I found that learning about this technology and this program that will help match people with the technology that they need was life-changing. And so I just wanted to share that knowledge. And so the DC Assistive Technology Program is the program that is centered around DC. So they're the people that you would work with if you live in DC, if you live in Maryland or Virginia. There are programs in those states as well. So with that said, I'm recording this so that it can be saved and other people can see it. And I am monitoring the chat. So if you have questions, you can put them in the chat and we'll let Leonard get to them at the end, if that's okay with you, Leonard.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to Leonard and turn off my camera so it's just him on the video. Yay. Okay.
Thank you so much, Carrie. I'm so happy to be here today, and we're happy to be here today. My name is, again, Leonard McPherson. I'm an assistive technology specialist working with the DC Assistive Technology Program. And so we're so happy to share this wonderful resource with you today, but also talk to you today as it relates to how assistive technology can be helpful in the workplace. So if you allow me to have the opportunity to share my presentation with you, we'll work on getting started. All right. Okay. Today, we're actually going to talk about an overview of this assistive technology program and also AT at work. As a part of the objectives today, you will be able to, one, define what assistive technology is. Two, we're going to describe various types of assistive technology programs that can be helpful in the workplace. And then three, describe assistive technology program and what services that we actually provide. Now, assistive technology. When we talk about assistive technology, we're talking about any item, piece of equipment, software program, product system that is used to increase, maintain, or improve the functional capabilities of persons with disabilities. In summary, assistive technology is any useful or helpful type of item equipment that can improve the function of an individual with diverse abilities. So in getting this step, we're going to talk a little bit about, again, the American Disabilities Act. I heard that information had been provided earlier too as well, this week too as well in reference to that. When we talk about Americans with Disabilities Act, well, we're taking a look at those acts as it relates to both state as well as federal too as well. When we talk about that, that's talking about employment, and how that can be as far as accessibility and access. And for Title II applies to the state and local government programs. And then Title III applies to places of public accommodations and businesses that offer public accommodation. And taking a look at what may be needed in the workplace, we're making reference to talking about reasonable accommodations. And when we consider reasonable accommodations, we can actually consider these accommodations that could be broken down into three categories. The first one, modifications or adjustments to a job application process. And with this will enable a qualified applicant, an individual with a disability to be considered for a position such as qualified applicants or desires. I was told earlier, talked about it as far as the ability to be able to know when and how to disclose that information too as well. So this is just to give a little bit more information to add to that. As far as the second category, we take a look at modifications or adjustments to the work environment. And in this particular situations, and under this, when you're talking about a position that's held or desired, and that's one that's actually, as far as the position and its job-related skills that are qualified for the individual to utilize and perform. And this is helpful with individuals with disabilities to be able to adequately perform the essential functions of their position. And then the third category is modifications or adjustments itself that enable covered entities employees or those with a disability to be able to enjoy the benefits and the privileges of the employment as it relates to being employed in the workplace and situated employees without disabilities. And when we're again talking about the reasonable accommodations, we talk about the Title I. And the ADA requires an employer to provide reasonable accommodations to qualified individuals with disabilities who are employees or applicants for employment, unless to do so would cause an undue hardship. And so in general, that's any accommodation and change in the work environment or in any way that things are customarily done and that will enable individuals with a disability to enjoy equal opportunities in employment at a place of employment. And when we speak of reasonable accommodations, we're talking about those accommodations that are appropriate accommodations and that will permit the employee to be effective in performing their essential job duties. And so a part of those reasonable accommodations, they may include assistive technology. Now, here at the DC Assistive Technology Program, we're a program that's actually located at 220 I Street Northeast. And that's here in Washington, D.C. And we actually have what's called an AT or AT Resource Center. And at our AT Resource Center, you're invited to come in and have an opportunity to see the various type of technologies that we have that potentially may be helpful for you. The wonderful thing about our program is that you have the opportunity to come in and to see the technology. Either myself or another colleague would actually be able to provide demonstrations to you of the technology so that you can see whether or not there's a potential in that technology being able to be helpful for you. And then there are some cases where if you see something that you find that may be beneficial for you, we do also have what's called a loan program. And so part of that technology loan program, you can have the opportunity for a short period to check out the technology for up to a 4-week period to be able to take the technology back to your environment, your workplace, to see, is that something that can really be beneficial for you? And what this does is that helps you to be better informed about what specific type of technologies can be very helpful for you and what you can use for that. And so this is a great resource that's open. It's open for anyone that's located here in the District of Columbia. And like Carrie said, that anybody's welcome to come. We are welcome to have you to come here. It is by appointment. And so you will contact us in order to get that appointment set up. And we'll provide more information about the contact information at the end of the presentation. So as what was said before, I spoke with you about the demonstrations and where we do demonstrate the technology and what's available and what can potentially be used for whatever your needs may be. Also spoke with you about our loan program, which we call our device lending library in reference to where they can be checked out. In addition to that, if there's some type of technology that you may find that it's something that you could utilize, it's something that you may find that you may want to be able to do, but may not have the monies to be able to get it, we do have an alternative financing program called DC Funds. And with that program, you're able to get a low interest loan, or in some cases, depending on the price, a no interest loan for maybe high price items that may something that you may be able to consider for usage, if that's something that you desire. In addition to that, we also have a device reutilization program called DC Shares. Now, this is primarily for equipment and information that's such as durable medical equipment. This is not pertaining to the technology that we'll be talking about more so today in reference to as far as the work program, but those things such as durable medical equipment, which include wheelchairs, walkers, bathroom adaptable equipment too as well. And this equipment is actually free for low-income DC residents with disabilities as well as seniors. In addition to that, we also have another program which is called Get Connected. Now, the Get Connected program teaches seniors and people with disabilities about accessibility features with utilizing their smartphones, computers, and tablets too as well. So again, if you feel that you have some challenges as far as you would like to better know how to utilize your smartphone and for the different features and how that may actually be effective for you, then the Get Connected program is another program that we offer that you can actually get connected with. And that's also a great resource to take a look at of way they could be utilized as well. As we go further into the presentation, I'll talk to you about, in some cases, how even some of the technology with your smartphone, depending on the type of challenge that you have or disability, can be used effectively too as well. In addition to the other services provided, we do provide, just as we're doing today, outreach programming to talk about and let people know that we're here and available to help you. We do also provide referral information too as well as it relates to information needed for possible organizations that you can connect with, programs, vendors, and even alternative funding too as well. In addition to that, there are times that we also provide more specific or specialized training that can be customized in order to meet your needs, and also evaluations and equipment trainings, which are fee-based type of services. And then also, in addition to that, we also assist and help to provide technical assistance in order to improve services for local agencies and management policies too as well, to ensure that they are considering and also including assistive technology as a part of what they're doing in the program. Now, getting into it, let's talk a little bit about, again, some things as far as that may be challenges. So we're taking a look at speaking about visual challenges. There's different, a variety of things that may come into play that can be helpful in the workplace. So for example, if you may need visual accommodations as it relates to actually printed information, there are tips that are very helpful in making sure that prints can actually be a little bit more readable for you. In some cases, there needs to have a different background or a darker type of background, and maybe a lighter type of writing or text on the background itself. And that can actually be helpful in allowing it to be able to stand out. And again, it could be a very customized situation for the preference of a person, what they would have in life. In addition to that, there's times that are recommended that there's more spacing between lines, so things can actually be read a little easier too as well. Actually having as far as the amount of spacing that's in between too as well, in addition to not only increasing or enlarging the text itself, but also, again, making sure that it can be readable in very different scenarios for persons to have that. And backgrounds can vary. Again, it is customizable. Someone may like, as we see at the top, a black background with the white text, written on it. Or in some cases, it could be a different type of, like a lighter type of background, a colored background too, with another color. The thing is that in some cases too, there should be an avoidance of glossy type of finishing paper too, because that could actually have some challenging visual effects too for other individuals, especially if a person has low vision. And then in addition to that, there are different types of things that can assist technologies in helping to magnify, increase, and also widen the range of text too as well, that can make it beneficial for those who do have visual challenges, whether it be low vision or even visual perceptual type of challenges. Here are, speaking of devices itself, are a variety of different type of devices, and in this case, portable magnifying devices. We have everything from what's considered to be video magnifying devices, in which there's a video component to it. And in that case, the video component magnifiers allows for not only the amplification or magnification of the text itself, in many cases too, it also can change the contrast of the screen. And that means actually provide contrast colors that can change, just as you saw on the previous slide, where those backgrounds can be changed to customize to meet the needs of the individual too as well. Other magnifiers actually may be able to take the picture of it, increase it, and also have what we call a screen bringing component to it, or a speech portable component to it. So in addition to having the component where the text is enlarged, it has the ability where it can read the information back to you after using the software to take a picture of the text and then being able to utilize the software itself to read the information on it also. And then in some cases, you may have different types that may be of a lower type, what we call a low-tech type of situation, in which you have something that, again, is still portable itself, but can be used in order to read information, and also does not have the video component to it. It has an actual magnification of the lens that's actually there for it. And it may have a light component too as well, in order to give it a better visual effect as well. In this case, these are all portable type of devices that could be easily maneuvered or moved into different positions, what's needed, and may be helpful definitely in the workplace in reference to going to different work areas in which that magnification actually may be needed too as well. And again, you know, it's based upon custom preference, but in this case too as well, also affordability in reference to having something that may be low tech if it works for you, in addition to having something that may be of a more higher tech, which is the video magnifiers, that even though they're at more of a cost, still could be very beneficial for those who may have the need. Here, we got started to get into talking about software or applications that could be used on the computer itself. And when we have these, we actually have things that can actually be able to manipulate information as it relates to either through word applications or on the web as well. And in this particular situation, we have it where it can be utilized with the computer or laptop. Applications such as Zoom text, you know, which actually provides magnification on the screen itself, which could be utilized in order to better read information too as well. And some actually have the combination where it does provide also a reader component too as well, where it's also providing screen reading. In addition to that, they have also professional screen reader programs such as JAWS too as well, that allows the information also to be utilized and read out loud. And working sometimes in conjunction with one another too as well, it has the ability to also be able to take advantage of both the actual magnification process with the other applications such as Zoom, and then also the screen reading too as well, that can provide information to be read back to individuals who could utilize these applications well. Also, we should not negate the fact that lighting does also have an impact and effect too as well. Lighting can be a big difference as it relates to in a work environment too as well, especially with those who may be doing tedious work where they may require them to be looking at information too as well throughout the period of time. And the light itself can be very good as far as making sure that information is illuminated well enough so it can be seen. Lighting can also help to, also keep an actual a level of tone itself too as well, as far as being able to keep it within the environment, and that actually helps within the workplace. And so there's a variety of different type of lightings that can help with that. More natural lighting too, also that can be seen too as well, and it can make a difference. As seen on the picture, you can see the same picture in reference to a workplace where the difference between is seen where natural lighting is in one place and it gives off a total different effect as opposed to the other lighting from traditional type of light bulbs too as well. So things like this can also make a difference too as well where we're talking about how it can be effective for individuals in the workplace. Next, we're going to move into the area where we're also talking about now as far as hearing is concerned. When we're looking at hearing and how it relates to individuals, how it may impact or affect that, hearing can actually be something that can impact in various ways. In certain ways, hearing, of course, within itself can be a challenge in reference to, again, if those individuals are deaf or hard of hearing and can have those challenges in that aspect and needs assistance from working around those barriers. But in some cases too, sometimes there could be the situation where sounds within an environment within itself too can be overbearing. And so it's, in some cases, having noise canceling headphones that could be helpful in being able to make sure that sounds within itself that could be challenging or that can actually assist in taking someone or causing someone to not to be able to be focused, or just even sometimes from an anxiety state of standpoint too as well, can be helpful for individuals. So there are headphones out there that are now, of course, noise canceling headphones that actually can be very helpful and can assist people to be able to be productive in their work environment with that, and be able to make sure that any extraneous noise in the environment can be have the barrier that it will be removed in a sense and help that individual to be able to allow them to be continuously productive. In addition to that, there may be the need in reference to those who actually will be using in reference to, again, the phone in the workplace. So there's different phones that actually get that to provide, if there's challenges with hearing, a visual component to it. One such phone is called a clear captions phone itself too as well. It's actually a free service that can be that can be utilized. Now, some workplaces, depending on the actual connections of the phone, it would have to be identified whether or not this phone could be actually done at the workplace, because it does require certain connections there. But those can actually be verified by the technicians there through the program itself. And if available, there's something that could be very useful in reference to that. Having the phone that can be utilized in the sense where you're actually seeing the captions that are available there can actually be so helpful in being utilized in a sense when an individual could use that and have the potential for it to be used in the workplace itself. In this particular sense, the internet is required. And so again, those things are required in order to see if that, or the availability to be able to use the phone is there. There's also another program too as well, such as a CapTel too is also, that also utilizes the information too as well as far as caption telephone as well. And in the same case, it would have to be identified whether or not it is available for it to be used in the workplace. But again, it could be something that could be very useful in being able to have that available, to have the captions on the phone to be used when actually working and utilizing the phone for that purpose. In addition, there's the individuals who have hearing aids as well as cochlear implants. And even though this is considered a type of assistive technology, it's one that's actually considered more medical based. And so with those different things, you would actually go through the medical based purpose to make sure that you're actually making sure that you're getting those things in place as you should. We know now that there are, in some cases, the hearing aids that are being sold over the counter too as well. And we still actually recommend that, the best way is to make sure that it's been adjusted by an audiologist or something to make sure that you get the best adjustments too as well. But still, with that being said, there are other applications, that are out there that do work well in some cases, depending on the type of hearing aid or cochlear implant that you may have too as well. And with these applications, they can actually do wonders because, again, with the Bluetooth type of connection, they can actually be connected, with the applications, and they can actually work well with the applications in order to be effective. So in one case, we actually had an individual who came in who actually had a cochlear implant. They had utilized one of the applications, they were using it, but they didn't realize that it also could be tapped into as they were relating to making a connection too as well. They were able to make a connection while connecting to some readily available software applications too as well. And in doing so, when they did so, they were able to directly get feedback as far as the text-to-speech piece going directly into their cochlear implant. And in some cases, the same can be done for a hearing aid too as well. So again, there's technology. Sometimes they can work in conjunction together with what's maybe already existing, technology that you have that could be helpful. And those connections can be made in order to talk about how they can be effective and potentially for you. Other devices are considered hearing enhancement type of devices or assisted listening devices. These specific devices are not hearing aids and they're not a cochlear implant. And in this case, though, that they still can be devices that can assist and help to enhance your hearing. And just because you have a hearing aid or a cochlear implant too as well, does not mean that you may not be able to benefit from this. We actually had a worker who came in and the actual device to the left, which is the Be Here proxy, and this is the one which is the one that can be worn over the neck itself, was actually tried out by the individual, and the individual actually took it for a loan as well. They were surprised to see how well that it actually ended up working for them. So the great thing about these devices, they have a lot of features to it. That particular device has it where you have the component where you can have it around your neck and you can hear the information from coming from the speaker. And so since it's close to you in close proximity, that could be helpful for you. Or it also has the earpieces that are retractable that could be used that could actually go directly into the ear. And with that too, because of the app that helps to get the individual to make sure that it is customized for their hearing. So with the app, once it's connected to your phone, whether it be a iPhone or Android phone too as well, it could be customized to make it specific to each ear. So if one ear needs more applications over another ear, it can actually be tweaked in order to make sure and adjust it that it will be beneficial for that. In addition to that, because it is through the phone, it also has the capability to being able to answer the phone while you have it on, and also be able to have a conversation with it too as well. So devices like these, which are again are considered assisted listening devices, also may be beneficial for you. And of course, in here, this is an example of two. One is around your neck, and the other one is a smaller one that could be worn on the hip. It has a clip on. It also has the headphones that could be used too as well on your head in order to listen to as well. So depending on what you may prefer or which one that you would like, it has the opportunity for you to have that in reference to do so. And so we have devices, both of those like this here, they could be that individuals could come in and try out and see, is this something that will work for me? Is this something that can be beneficial for me? And how well does it work to be utilized? But it's great to have the opportunities and choices to see what's available and see what may be helpful specifically for you. In addition to that, we have services such as video, of course, video relay services, and those can be very helpful in reference to those who use American Sign Language and to communicate by telephone too as well, and through the users through video equipment too as well. And so having those connections too can be very helpful as well, especially when you're doing things and you're working in order to be productive in the workplace. And there's various apps that you may be able to use and download based upon what your need is and what you have to be able to connect with and utilize it in a manner that could be productive for you. In addition to the video relay services, there's also internet protocol relay services, or IP services as they call. And this is also different services too that allow individuals who have the hearing challenges to be able to communicate too as well with computer or web-enabled type of devices. And then they're able to communicate through the telephone system with hearing persons. So there's a variety of different options out there that can be allowed for individuals to try and to know that this is available for those to be able to utilize and do various things based upon what they need. And so it's always good to have the opportunity to know what options are out there and what may be available. In addition to, of course, the iPhone and iPad, there's built-in accessibility features, that they have. And so those things can also be used too as well. Exploring what those options that are available that may be there in order to really try out are very good in reference to that. And for those who have it, I would recommend too, explore those options that you may have in reference to, that, because there are accessibility features there, and you just may find there may be some options there that are already built in, that can be helpful for you. Now, getting to talking about more computer skills. When we're talking about utilizing, for example, a computer mouse, sometimes a traditional type of computer mouse within itself is just not enough. And there may be a times a need where there may be other alternative pointers, or what we call pointing devices, that may be needed or can be used. For example, this is an example of a wearable type of pointer device, in which the individual, instead of actually having a traditional mouse that would actually sit on the desktop, can use it in order to do the same thing that you would do with a traditional mouse, but using it with wearable technology. Because to be so helpful for those who may have challenges, or even may have challenges with things like repetitive trauma disorders too as well. Those things that could come from people they may have, for example, like carpal tunnel, and challenges that they may have with that, or even individuals who may have challenges with mobilities within their arms and hands to be able to utilize a traditional type of computer mouse. Other type of options include things such as ergonomic mice. And, the ergonomic type of computer mice actually come in many different forms. You have things such as a vertical mouse, which actually keeps the hand and wrist in a neutral position. That's actually better in a sense than actually the repetitive use of a traditional mouse itself. And some can actually be done in a way, if it's better usage of, more similar to like a joystick type of device, but still being able to maneuver the things as far as the computer cursor around the computer screen in a manner that's still necessary in order to get the job done. There's various type of computer alternative pointers out there, or computer mice that's out there, and it's just really trying to find the one that's actually most effective and that will fit well for you. This is another option too as well, that's actually showing trackballs too as well. The trackball is considered like an inverted mouse. So instead of at the bottom where you actually have which rolling across the desktop in order to control the cursor, it's inverted, and you control the cursor by actually moving the ball. And it allows the individual to be able to do so in a manner, that can actually be very helpful. Individuals may find too as well that they may just prefer the use of a trackball type of device as opposed to a computer mouse as well, and just has it as a preference. Sometimes it can actually be something, that could just be helpful to have even beforehand in order to actually cut down on some of the repetitive movements that could be caused by the usage of a traditional mouse. And also just something people like it in order to be effective. These are things that you can try out to see if this is something that can be, again, beneficial for you. Other type of alternatives, so for example, can be a head type of mouse. This is one such a type, which is called the Glasshouse wearable head mouse. It has what would be considered like glasses type of a head device that could be worn on the head. And it actually has a connection that could be connected with the computer itself. When doing so, this allows individuals who may have some challenges with using their hands to do so. It can be more beneficial for the individuals to use their head as a method of actually controlling the cursor and maneuver it on the computer screen. And there also are a variety of type of switches or devices that can be used in order to provide the click. Here is actually being shown where this is a switch that could just be pressed down on the table. In other cases, there could be switches that even foot pedals in which you can utilize your foot in order to press it, or even mouth type of switches that could be used for those who may have challenges even with using their limbs as well. So there's a variety of things that are out there that can allow individuals to actually to navigate and be able to do things that can allow them to be beneficial in that sense with using or maneuvering a cursor on a computer screen. In addition to that, we have things such as, again, a voice recognition. Voice recognition can be used in many ways in reference to, again, giving commands that can actually help to control the computer itself, or to make switches and changes too as well. And that can be helpful in using your voice to be able to do so. But in addition, in some cases also could be used in order to be able to type without using your hands. And in this particular sense, that particular feature is called speech to text. This is very useful for individuals who do have limitations with using their hands or may have challenges with being able to do so. And so it can be very effective in reference to that. So whether it be lack of movement, repetitive trauma, or things of that nature, utilizing both voice recognition and speech to text to be helpful, to be able to access the computer, and also to be able to produce typewritten work in a manner by using the voice is an effective way to do things. Now, with that being said, we must consider that, again, as we talked about earlier, there being built-in features as it relates to the iPhone or iPad. There are also built-in features as it relates to utilizing the Microsoft Office suite too as well. They built in, and they've continued with the advent of more technology coming out to add more accessible features, as it relates to Microsoft accessibility features. When they consider that, they have different things as it relates to hearing, vision. They even included, now neurodiversity as well as a part of that too as well. Learning and the information, and also, again, considering mobility and mental health. And speaking about the vision features as it relates to Microsoft, they have different features such as the narrator. And the narrator, again, is one that actually goes when you have on your screen, what it is, it has a built-in feature that it actually is able to navigate with images itself, and you can hear what is on the screen. So it's screen reading for the information for you and actually giving you the feedback as far as what's on the screen. And it's actually been working hard to describe what the information that's on there, and giving a more natural type of human sign of voice. In some cases with this, some features also are supported with some Braille devices that are available too as well to be used also. Color control also is one that's also on the feature. So it's what we talked about earlier as far as being able to control the color. You have the ability to change contrast as far as the screen itself and what you're able to see. And so you can customize it to see what is actually will be helpful for you, whether there's a sensitivity to light itself or how you would like to have your screen increasing, the brightness and things, those things that there too is also of the images. Those things are very helpful in being able to do so as well. In addition to that, it does have things such as magnification that's involved with it too as well, that allow for you to increase and make magnifications on the screen. And all of these things are very helpful for you to be able to use, especially when you're using the traditional software that you may use in a workplace, which are considered the word processor, like Microsoft Word, Excel spreadsheet too as well, PowerPoint for slide presentation software as well, to allow you to be effective as you possibly can. Now, as far as the hearing features are concerned, you have live captions that actually come up too as well as it relates to some of the Microsoft accessibility features. And this one, again, allows for live captions that are definitely perfect as it relates to those who, are deaf or hard of hearing. It actually transcribes, spoken content from any audio, even from the microphone. And you can caption app too as well, even in the person, in-person conversation as well. These are things that could be utilized, could be tried out to see if it works for you. Just like with any technology, you have to see, is this something or feature that will work for me? So definitely something, again, to consider and try because of the built-in feature that's there. Audio adjustments too that they have too with it allows things such as being able to adjust the audio of the stereo, that you can actually combine both the left and the right stereo and the channels itself, singling it out. Or again, you can actually separate them to see what's actually best for you as the individual for hearing. But it gives you the option to do so as opposed to it just being static in the sense of you only have one set option as it is. In this case, you have an option to be able to try it out to see if this is something that will be more effective when having to listen to information that would be audio based that would be coming on the computer. As far as the next features, we're talking about mobility features itself within. As far as the mobility features, this is actually considered as far as voice access and typing itself as well. This is going back to what was talked about before, where you have the ability to control the computer itself with your voice. With again, what we talked about, utilizing the voice in order to do so. But in addition to that, also doing the typing itself, which is the speech to text. So again, this already has it built into the system. It's considered called dictation in Microsoft Word itself. And it allows you to be able to use your voice in order to complete and write the document or an email with voice typing itself. They also have an option for eye control too as well. So the eye control is available as far as the connection there with that. You do have it has the enable cameras, features that has to be connected with it. But they also another accessible component that can be added to it, which is the launchpad that would allow you to be able to use the eye control component in conjunction with it too as well. In addition, when they talked about the neurodiversity and learning features, they have one feature that's called Immersive Reader. Now, with this one, it allows you to improve the online reading fluency, which can help with the comprehension. As what was actually spoke of earlier, this particular feature allows you to be able to do things such as adjust the space between the lines itself, in addition to also do things such as if color contrast will be helpful for it, it allows you to do that. In addition to do magnification of the letters, and also to be able to remove visual clutter too is also. This could be very helpful for those who this could be beneficial for them in being able to read information more effectively, and also that it'd be palatable for them to be able to do so. Built-in features such as focus sessions too also are available. And this actually has things such as do not disturb. They could be actually turned on as a part of it too as well. It connects with the clock feature that's there too as well. It helps where you can also set timers and reminders too as well. And also reminders whether it's reference to do certain things such as taking breaks. And also to continue as far as cues to allow you to continue to remain focused. For those who may have challenges with remaining focused and may have a level of distractibility, this can actually be a wonderful feature to have set up so that they can allow for more increased productivity. Speaking of that too as well, there may be sometimes that cognitive accommodations can be very helpful too as well. If you're in a meeting, you need to take information, but sometimes whether it be distractions or whether it be challenges with being able to take notes, or whether it be challenges with this having information too within itself. Things such as digital voice recorders are very helpful, being able to actually take information down and record that information at meetings or different necessity that you can have that information available to you to be able to go back to. Also slow things back down too as well. And then you may be able to go back and take the information down where it would be more challenging for you to try to take that information at the moment that it's happening in a meeting or at the moment in real time. And so these are great ways that you can do so. They do have some digital voice recorders out there, such as the one that's being displayed here, which is an Olympus digital voice recorder that has a retractable USB port. So you can take the actual digital voice recorder from what you recorded and connect it to the USB port on your laptop or on your desktop computer, and have it then where you can actually get the information right there, actually as it's going through your laptop or your desktop computer. This is a great way to be able to capture information, keep up with information for those who may have the challenges to do so, whether it be challenges with cognitive deficits, again, taking notes, if things are information too as well, or just being able to stay focused with it. This is a good accommodation to have, and also good to utilize as a technology resource tool. So when we talk about why assistive technology, as I said itself, assistive technology is a way to be useful in a manner in this particular sense, as far as being able to really be productive and be able to demonstrate the skills that you have in the workplace. Whether it be some challenges that you've had, that you want to overcome the barriers, or just even in the sense as we are starting to be starting to get older in the workplace, and our abilities are changing too. Sometimes these assistive technologies are just very helpful in order to allow us to remain productive and able to increase our abilities as we continue to go forward. So they are definitely great tools to be able to utilize. The payoff for employees is that it can help employees to return to work after an accident or illness. It can create opportunities for employment or promotion too as well, that you may not have seen, by allowing you to be better and more productive in the sense of what you're doing. And it helps the employees to perform work more easily and actually at their potential. So assistive technology overall, it has the ability to be able to increase productivity and then also maximize the abilities as it relates to employment incentives itself. Overall, assistive technology has many different aspects there. There's many different things and types of assistive technologies that allow for work productivity. And so there's a variety of different type of assistive technology tools that are there. I just gave a small snippet of the type of technology that may be available, but this is the way, hopefully this will just allow you to be more interested in setting up a time and appointment to come in and actually see the different other options, as well as some of the things that you may have seen today too, as well as technology that may be helpful for you, and be able to have them demonstrated for you. And then in some cases, if you feel that you could benefit by checking it out on a loan basis, to be able to do so. So these technology tools are great and helpful in ways that, again, that just overall will allow for a better overall improvement in productivity, and allow you to actually be the best employee that you possibly can be. Here's our contact information that we have here. You always can actually give us a call into the Assistive Technology Program. As you actually put a call into the main number, you can actually give us a call. And when you reach out to us, you can have the opportunity times to give us a call, so that you can set up an appointment. Also listed are our email addresses, so feel free to email us too as well. That's a part of it too also, to have that as well as far as the information. So then again, if you email us or actually call us by phone and leave a message, we will return your phone call. We will, return your email too as well, in order to get the process going. Again, we're located at 220 I Street Northeast. That's Suite 120, Washington, DC, 2002 itself. So we would love to see you and love to have you. All right, now this is the time for questions.
You can put questions in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask questions if you'd like. It doesn't look like we have questions, so I think that's great. This was super, super helpful, and you've hit a lot of staff members who are going to be able to impart this information on their students, so that's going to be great. And Marva asked, is this for DC residents only?
So yes, I think Carrie did a great job at the beginning. Thank you so much. So yes, this is for DC residents, but as Carrie said too as well, if you're a resident of Maryland, there's a program just like ours in Maryland. The same in Virginia too as well. So we are a federally funded program, that is actually funded specifically for DC residents and for those who are in DC or, have here, but there are also programs, that are in Maryland as well as Virginia and also other states and territories.
Okay, well, Leonard, thank you so much for this. So it was really, really helpful, and hopefully we'll be able to help the students get this technology that's going to help them be successful in the workplace. So we really appreciate you taking the time today to meet with us. And we will probably find some place to post your contact information. Plus, we'll look up the ones for DC and Maryland so we can post them as well. So the students do know, or I'm sorry, Virginia and Maryland. And I only knew that because I'm reading the captions of what I'm talking about. But I will get that information out to people who need it.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Again, we look forward to having anyone to again reach out to us in order to set up an appointment. We would love to have you, love you to come through too as well. So, and also, Carrie, if any, I know that this was probably a challenging time for as far as the students too as well. They can have that to go, from there. So,
Yeah. We'll have the recording so we can post it so we can steer students to this if they need it.
So I just saw the note that actually came in from my program director, who's also on. She wanted us to let you know that even if you're attending the DC school itself too as well, please feel free to open to actually come to us also, since you're also in a DC program here. So being at GW being in DC, we still would open it up to you to be able to come so that you can benefit.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, well, great. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for all of you who are still on the line for joining us today. This was super helpful, and we're going to make sure everyone's successful in their jobs. So yay. Okay, have a great day.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.